Welcome back everyone. This video is quite interesting in terms of understanding what I have taught you in last two videos. So we will see those understanding from a very layman terms. Okay, let's say if you want to explain the entire thing to a person who doesn't know anything about computer science, programming, natural language, all the terminologies I have spoke about. Now, what will you explain to him? So this video is for those who are very new to this particular world. But if you are expert enough to understand these terms, you can directly move to the next section of it. Okay, that means directly move to the second half of the video. Okay, now for those who are very new, think of prompting as you are ordering in a restaurant. Now there is a restaurant in the town. Okay, you went there and there is a waiter serving you. This is the scenario. What will you say to that waiter to get good service? Okay, so your target is to get good service. This is your target. So I have two options. You need to tell me which one will you choose. First one is I want food, and second one is I did like to have a medium rare paneer stick with garlic butter and a slice of mashed potato. Okay, now tell me, this is your first instruction. I want food. You went to the restaurant, you said to waiter this. Now waiter will respond you back. I'm not saying what he will respond you or she will respond you, but this is response 1. And after this you have said to the waiter, and after this waiter respond you back with response 2. What do you think? Which response is more accurate, more understandable, and context rich? Okay, so the idea of prompting emerges from this scenario. The prompting basically works in the same way as you are doing it with a waiter in the restaurant. Okay, so the first scenario over here is I want food. What it does, this will confuse the waiter. This will confuse the waiter. And on the other hand, this particular instruction or the request to the waiter, it is basically exactly what you have imagined for. Okay, this is what exact. Now the difference between these two is very simple. That second one is more clear, is more descriptive, is more context rich, And basically because of these three things, the waiter will serve you better without getting confused. Okay, now tell me, if you are a layman, is this enough understanding how prompt works? Now in the same way, if your prompt is more clear, more descriptive, and more context rich, AI will respond you better. So this is a very important point I have written over here, which you need to understand as a layman. Now coming to the expert understanding side of it, let's move to the next phase. Okay, now human and machine dialogues are not new. Okay, I have mentioned this in technical evolution topic. Okay, so these are not new, but each evolution has some limitations. Each evolution has some limitations. Okay, so if I am talking about a very command line language, which was like ls, cd, al, okay, cp kind of thing, so these are required memorization of command. Okay, that those who are writing these commands, the people need to memorize each command for every action. Okay, then comes graphical user interface. Okay, then comes graphical user interface, where we have seen button, okay, menus, and so on and so forth. Now this will give you a limited flexibility. Limited flexibility, and developing each flexibility is quite take some time. Okay, so there are users flow, predefined users flow. In those users flow only you can direct yourself. Then comes around 2010 2015, then comes NLP, natural language processing, and I would say voice interpretation. This is third era, when we have moved from GUI to command based systems. This is nothing but it is like Alexa or Siri or Google Assistants. Okay, but the limitation was it has shallow understanding, very shallow understanding. Okay, that you cannot say Alexa to write programming code. Okay, you cannot say Alexa to explain as a 5-year old. You cannot say Alexa to explain as 5-year old and 25-year old a same topic, right? So this is the limitation of that era. Now around 2023 onwards, okay, when GPT launches its LLM based system. So this is LLM based prompting, where we have ChatGPT, we have Claude, we have Gemini, we have Llama. Now this is more into the understanding of natural language or human commands, right? But still there is a limitation of deep reasoning. There is a reasoning a lot better than what we have in the earlier days, but we still miss deep reasoning through natural language, right? Now this thing, the fourth section of the evolution or the communication between human and machine, or I would say human machine dialogue. This we are witnessing a new interface, which is language interface. We are witnessing a language interface where human from any language background can communicate to machine, and machine will understand and thought around the logic what human has asked for. In other terms, this is a new programming language. This is a new programming language, and I would say this is programming 2.0. Okay, powered by human intent, if you want to say. So every human can now code using words, or I would say prompt. The best AI engineers of the future will be the best communicators. So the idea of communicating or dialogue between human and machines got easier on the human side, and it is more and more calculative intensive, where machine will do a lot of reasoning, logic building based on the human intent. Okay, so this is the understanding which you need to have as what I have talked about the prompt engineering. Okay,